Good evening, everyone. I'm so glad to be here right now. Welcome to another episode of SPED Every Day, where we'll learn about how to be able to achieve progress with our kids with exceptionalities, to individuals with exceptionalities, where we work together as parents and as educators, as professionals, to better assist these kids in transitioning, in behavior intervention, and in learning. I'm so glad to be here once again, and I would like to seize this opportunity to thank everyone that has been able to subscribe on my YouTube channel. Please subscribe. This is a platform where we'll learn more things about how to help our children, how to help our nieces, our nephews, and people around us with exceptionalities. And also, I'm glad to those of you that they were able to send me questions or to encourage me and to even tell me things to do or bring up ideas to do to make this a better platform. I really appreciate you, and I'm going to be following one of the advices you gave me today, because I do not want this video to be so long in order not to bore a lot of people or to bore people, because I want to watch a 30 minutes video. So my plan before was to talk about reinforcement, scripting, and prompting today in one video, but I'm going to break it down. So this evening we're going to be talking about reinforcement. Now, before I go into reinforcement, there are basic skills or basic things that I need you to understand when we're setting goals for our kids. Most importantly, we need to ensure that these goals are achievable. These goals are measurable. These goals can be tracked. And our kids understand that we're trying to help them learn these goals. And goal, to me, is the big thing. We can break the goals down into objectives. We can break it down into step by step so that we have something to build on. And as individuals with exceptionalities, I need us as parents or as educators to understand that each child is unique in his or her own way. So what works for child A may actually not work for child B, or will definitely not work for child B. So we need to understand at every time that when we are making plans or creating plans or ideas to better assist our kids, it has to be according to that child. It has to be specific to that child. So now, to reinforcement. What is reinforcement? I'll say something that you give to increase a targeted behavior. It's a reward. And how do we get this reward? We get this reward by understanding who our child is. What drives our child? I won't give a reward to be on a computer game to a child who doesn't care about computer games. I will definitely want to make sure that whatever reward I'm giving this child is something that a child is interested in. It's something that would drive this child. It's something that this child would always want to work for. And reinforcement doesn't just work with our kids with exceptionalities. It also works to us as individuals. For example, I have a targeted time that if I finish this video, I'll be able to watch my show. And the show has that time that it starts. So if I don't get this done, I won't watch the show. And when we're trying to pick this reward, we have to make sure that this child only gets the opportunity to use this reward at that time of the goal or the completion of that goal or that objective. So that this child will not see it as, if I don't get it now, I can always get it later. So we need to be specific. We need to make the child understand. We need to attach it. And that is where communication comes in. So when we have a child that we're trying to work with, it could be in behavior, it could be in learning, it could be in social skills. We need to encourage every adult in the life of that child, so that when the child goes from your home to grandma's house, to grandpa's house, or to school, the adult there, the individual there would understand that, this is how I'm working with this child. This is what drives this child. And this is what I would like you to focus on as well. So the child will not see them as an escape. Like if I go to grandma's house, I can get my computer, I can get my reward. The child would understand, and every adult in the life of that child will work together as one, so that the goal can be achievable and we can see progress. So parents, I would say it is very important once again to communicate with the educators in your kids' life. So consistency can be there. Fidelity can be there in the use of reinforcement or any other tool we'll be talking about on this platform. Now I'm going to break reinforcement down into three. We have the positive reinforcement, we have the negative, and we have the token economy. And I'm going to start with the positive. Positive is like what I just said now. I'm getting something, so this behavior can increase. My child gets a piece of candy. That's for a child that you've already identified, that the drive for this child is candy. So my child gets this at the end of this. So that child knows that immediately I finish this task, I'm getting candy. And please, when we're working with reinforcement and working with a child with reinforcement, we need to make sure that whatever thing that the reward is available. So meaning as parents, you have to be disciplined as well. We have to be organized. We have to work like we're working with this child, we're working on ourselves. So that the child gets it immediately, because most times, by the time you say, okay, I'll give it to the child later, then the child might have forgotten why he's earning that reward. So the child will not link it to the behavior again. And we do not want that to happen. We want to increase this behavior so this child has a plan. This child has what to think of when he's doing this chore or when he's doing this task. So this child, that can be the drive. Because I have questions from parents that will say, I'm using reinforcement, but my child still don't get it. Yeah, and for them, when after interviewing, I realized that because this reward comes later. You make them go into another task, then you forgot to do that one. And then the child, because most times some of our kids don't even have the cognitive ability to remember that mom is giving me this for this. So it's just like correcting the child. Do the correction now. Do the reward now. Immediately it is happening so that the child will understand and be able to key into that. You know, another thing is that consistency really helps build character, build the skill we want in our kids. So we need to be consistent. Let me dive into negative reinforcement. Like a lot of people say, oh, that's the bad one. No, it's not the bad one. Negative reinforcement is just like you want a behavior to change, but you're going to let something go to get something. So for example, I would say for a child, maybe the chore is to wash dishes in the evening, but this child came home and cooked dinner or did something, exceptional, something that you've been trying to work on. You can withdraw the other task. Oh, baby, because you did this, don't worry on the dishwashing this evening. Guess what? That child will be triggered to, want to cook again or to do that particular task again, because that child sees that as, a reward. And then you can also work on that skill later through another kind of tool or another reinforcement. So that it's not that the child is neglecting washing the dishes, but you're getting another thing done. Or for a child that likes to play outside and comes in with dirty hands, how do we make sure that this child washes their hands? Communication. So the child knows, to get the germs out of my hands, I need to wash. So we can, help this child while using reinforcement. We can use other tools to assist. We can prompt them to do it. We can model them to do it, into doing it. And this helps. Then token economy. Token economy is what I love most and what a lot of teachers use, because it's a plan. Every child, whatever child that is on that kind of reinforcement, is tracking the reward. Most times we use a lot of Velcro, we use a lot of picture cards, visual cues and all that. So this child already knows that when I complete this set of tasks, for example, for our little kids, I can say, when you bring out a box of toy, place it on the table. After completion, the child gets a token. Now, you played with your toy. After completing play, the child gets a token. You pack up the toys. After completing that, you get a token. Then the last picture can be like, then you finish the first, the middle, and the after. Then you get this. So that helps our kids to know that I'm working towards something. And while working, maybe for a longer period of time, but while working, they know that they are earning something towards a goal. So the token economy actually encourages our kids to take a step-by-step procedure or step-by-step analysis of what they're going to earn, and then they'll be encouraged to work towards it. So when they finish step 1, they do not want to miss out on step 2, because they know it can earn them something that would bring out something more. So parents, I'm going to be rounding this up by letting you understand and to remind you again that when we're setting the goals for our kids, let us make sure it is trackable. Let us make sure that it is measurable. Let us communicate with every other adult in the lives of our kids. And let us break these goals down to our children as well. And for our non-verbal kids, let us use pictures. Let us help them understand what we're trying to do with them. And let us also individualize the plans for them so that it will be specific to them. It is something that they would like. And then we should also ensure that there's a plan when we are using reinforcement for fading, so that, because there's a time, maybe when your child was 5, he liked this. Now he's 6, he doesn't like that anymore. So we should pay attention to that, what the child has lost interest in. So we need to be able to build on, knowing our child and be fast with it, so that as soon as this reward is fading in the life of that child, we can have something to really fix into it, so that we won't lose track of the goal we're trying to attain with our kid. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope I've been able to bless you and your family today. And very soon, I know that if you've not tried this means before, you'll be able to try it, and you have a good track record about it. And also, parents, I would like you to collect data on your kids to be able to track their progress and to know if you need to step down your goals a little bit, or to hype it, or to add more to it. And also, in the course of this week, I'm going to be releasing videos on prompting and scripting. And like I said earlier, I do not want this video to be so long, so it won't bore you while watching. Once again, thank you for watching SPED Everyday. I'd appreciate if you subscribe to this YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram at SPED Everyday. And for those of you that just sent in your questions, I'd be answering your questions shortly via email. And thanks for sending your questions. Thanks for sending in your concerns. Thanks for giving me ideas on how to make this a better platform. I so much appreciate you, and I know that together we can work together to achieve success and independence in the lives of our children. Once again, it's your girl, Bola Tito Fatoki. Thanks for having me. Good luck. SPED Everyday. Bye.